What's up, gentlemen? 3 days till opening day. It is prediction season. It's almost baseball season. I'm going to give you each division standings, playoff predictions for each series that I think will be the matchups, and MVP, Cy Young, surprising team, disappointing team. Subscribe if you want more baseball videos. Tap that bell. It's not all that I post, but if you guys like them, I'll make more. Let's go. Alright guys, we're starting in pretty much the most random division we could possibly start in. That's the NL Central. We're going to start at the bottom. The Pittsburgh Pirates are going to come last place, 23-37 record. There's not a ton to say about the Pirates. They were horrendous in the second half last year after a very respectable start. They had a major fall off and they lost Starling Marte in the offseason. This team is going to be one of the worst in the National League. Everybody knows that. Now, this is where it gets interesting. 4th place in this division, because everyone is always talking about the order of those 4 teams. I ask a ton of people their opinion on it. And for me, the 4th place team is the Milwaukee Brewers, 30-30 record. Now, I was originally I root for the Brewers, but there was a point where I had them all the way down at 77-85 for this full season, maybe even 75-87 maybe I had them at. Yikes. But I think it was more like 77-85. However, I have them at 500. I think that they're good for this 60-game season. Why? Because they're a team that their starting pitching has not held up for a full 162 games, at least not amazingly. I mean, it's been enough to get into postseason, but their offense has fallen off this year, okay? It's not quite as good without Moustakas, and there's a few other changes. No more Grandal. There's just changes to that team. I don't want to get too far into this to make this video too boring, but the Milwaukee Brewers undergo change, but I think the bullpen, Josh Hader, can really make his presence felt even more in the shortened season. But, however, that only puts them at 500. 3rd place, we're going with the St. Louis Cardinals, guys. They made the playoffs last year, passing out the Cubs and Brewers late. But guess what, guys? Flaherty is going to be really good, but this offense, it's just not that good, okay? 2nd place, we're going with the Reds. The Reds are going to go 33-27, not quite make the playoffs. They're going to be oh so close. But man, this team was not bad last year. That's the thing. A lot of people feel like they were bad last year, but they really weren't. They were 75-87, I believe. But they had I believe, a slightly plus run differential. Whatever it was right around 0. This team wasn't too bad. They obviously added Castellanos, which I think is huge. Moustakas, which is big. Oh man, Wade Miley as the 4th starter, with Castillo, Gray, Bauer, Miley. Now, here's the thing. I'm not so sure that Gray, Bauer, Castillo are going to be able to actually be a great 1-2-3 punch like a lot of people say they are going to be. Mainly Gray. I don't know if he could sustain what he did last year. Bauer will be better than last year probably, but how much better? And you don't know. The Reds are a hard team to predict. I got myself a nice Reds Mother's Day hat in honor of their potential postseason berth, but I don't have them quite making it. 1st place, obviously, that leads the Chicago Cubs, bro. 34-26. Gonna be the 3 seed in the National League. The 3 seed, they have not very good starting rotation. No more Hamels. And it's just veterans. Lester's fallen off, but it's still not awful. Hendricks and is gonna be solid again. Darvish is the biggest question mark. That is the big piece, Darvish. But that offense, exactly how good will it be, guys? I think that the Cubby Bears, I was at Wrigley last year. I like the Cubs, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think that they're going to have enough to make the postseason this year, guys. Wow, that was so much fun talking NL Central, just casually chill. Now, we got to go with the AL Central now. They're the guys that the NL Central are going to be playing, so I'm not sure if we're going to do East or West next, but we're going to go Central. And, yeah, like that. Last place, Tigers. I'll give them 21-39. Even after the historically atrocious season, I'll give them 21-39 because they added a lot of like Scope, Crone, Nova, Romine, Maben. They added players, not like really good players, but they added MLB players, guys. Fourth place is going to be the Royals, 23-37. This team can hit some baseballs. They got Jorge Soler, Whit Merrifield, and Hunter Dozier, But that pitching staff, Danny Duffy as the ace, but like he's average, and meh. Third place is going to be, this is where it gets interesting, top three. The AL Central actually has some stuff going on now. White Sox I'm putting third, not passing out Cleveland or Minnesota. 32-28, not postseason team. Some people might have them squeaking in. Some people might only have them 500. I'm kind of like average when it comes to the White Sox. 32-28, boys. Keuchel, Encarnacion. Here's the thing. Grandal is not going to like see a major improvement from last year. Why? Because James McCann was a great catcher for them last year. That's why. But guess what, guys? This team, Tim Anderson and the big boy that can really hit, whatever his name is. I'll put a picture of him on your screen. But boy, this team can be fun. Second place, Indians. I'm actually pretty high on the Indians this year. Can't lie. Why? Because a lot of people forget that they were very good last year. That's why. 34-26 record for the Indians. Not quite making it. Oh, so close. Oh, so close. I kind of want to put them in, but I'm not. 34-26. Okay, guys. No more Kluber, no more Bauer, but those guys didn't help them last year. They had a good rotation just with Bieber and Clevenger, and then Carrasco is the 3. Okay, but like, man, the Indians have had a good rotation for years and years now, like 5. But guess what? They've really like been turning it over to like who it's with now, which you love to see it. That offense is too much just Lindor, Ramirez. Lindor's a bit overrated, even though I love him. Ramirez is gonna be good, I think. I think he'll have a good 60-game stretch. What's his face? The other good guy. I don't know, guys. But this team has weaknesses. They have Franmil Reyes to hit them home runs now. Top of the division in Bebe. It's gonna be the Minnesota Twins, boys. 38-22. Sorry for that like disturbing sound about 10 seconds ago. The Twins, boy, 38-22, gentlemen. 3 seed in the AL. So you see, like, the AL is gonna have the higher records at the top, similar to last year. This team not quite good as the 2 seed, but this team can hit for days. They did it last year, and they're going to do it this year. Josh Donaldson added to an already historically powerful lineup, guys. Wow. And pitching, Barrios, Odorizzi, Pineda maybe. They're very, very good. Now, they're going to have a higher record just because of the weak. Well, there's really only 2 teams bad at the bottom of the division, so whatever top of the Central Division's record has been like kind of a fluke because they played such crappy teams, but it's not really the case. So like 38-22, that's pretty legit that the Twins are going to get this year. Okay, we are going to go with the NL East. All right, break. We're going to go with the National League East. All right, the Marlins are coming in last, 20-40. I'm not going to talk too much about them this year, but they have a little bit of players, but they have an incredibly difficult schedule. 6 games with Tampa Bay and AL East and NL East that they're playing, and the only easy thing that they're even going to play all year is the Orioles, like 3 or 4 games against them. Like, this team is going to be ballooned with hard game, so I am indeed giving the Tigers a better record than the Marlins, despite the Marlins being a better team. 4th place, this is where it gets insanely interesting. Perhaps the top 4 ranking of the NL Central, and probably even more the NL East, is probably the most intriguing things in all of baseball this year. 4th, we're going with the New York Mets, 31-29 record. You kind of hate to see it, but I root for pretty much everyone in this division besides the Braves and Marlins. But the Mets are actually going to come fourth. But I don't like their rotation. That's my thing with the Mets. Their rotation, I don't like it anymore. Like, without Syndergaard, I don't think Stroman's going to be very good. Bruh, Amazon Prime, buddy. Alright, as far as the Mets are concerned, I like their lineup. They're coming in fourth, though. Third place, Philadelphia, 33-27. That's right, guys. The Phillies are making a second wild card spot, guys. 33-27. The Phillies are squeaking in. That's a good ball club. That's a little sneaky good ball club right there. Joe Girardi. Didi's wasn't good last year, so we'll have to see what he does. But Wheeler, as long as he pitches, he's going to be good. I'll tell you that. So Nola, Wheeler, and Wheeler is indeed better than Arrieta. Arrieta should be average. Eflin is honestly not far behind Arrieta, in my opinion. And then the back spot, Velasquez, Pivetta, whoever's throwing the ball, okay. But guys, the Phillies bullpen I don't really like, but their offense I do. Bryce, JT, Gene, Didi, Scott. The team can hit, and I'm definitely Kutch. Like, come on. Like, this team can hit. Rhys Hoskins. Not that he was amazing last year. He was a little bit above average player. But the Phillies are going to ball this year. They're going to hopefully get that second wild card spot. That's my prediction. Second place, whoosh, Washington Nationals. So I originally had this team, honestly, third, maybe even fourth place, but I'm going with second. I really like the National, like I've always liked them. And guess what? I think 60 games is tremendous for them. No more World Series hangover. They're going to have a hangover, and I had them missing the playoffs in my original 162 game thing. But they're going to go 34-26, top wild card. I think Scherzer will be very good. Strasburg will be Strasburg. Corbin will be Corbin. This team, they don't have the best offense in the world, but there's not going to be nearly as much of a hangover. And just the fact that a pitching-heavy team, and especially with a little bit of like guys who have put a lot of workload on themselves, Scherzer and Strasburg, they don't have to go through the whole season. Scherzer tends to have mini injuries. I guess same with Strasburg, but this year they can get through it healthy, I believe. First place, we are unfortunately going with the Atlanta Braves. Not that I dislike them, just that I like the three teams below them better. The Braves won one game over the Nats, 2 games over the Phils. 35-25, Atlanta, 2 seed. All right, so they have some stuff going on. It won't be easy. They no more Donaldson. I know they got Ozuna, but that doesn't make up for Donaldson. And Freddie Freeman, he almost died the other night, but he should be okay. We hope so, but he has coronavirus and will not be ready for the start, but hopefully it doesn't majorly affect his season or the Braves season, as I hate to see injuries be the reason for a team struggling. I'm going with Atlanta still, but not by much. This division is going to be insanely fun to follow. On to the AL East, boys. 5th place in the AL East, Baltimore. Guess what record I'm giving them, guys? 15-45. And, like, guys, I really like the Orioles when they're good, but this is just a mess. Like, hate to see it for a team that I used to, like, really like, and I know I will like once they get back to, like, normal. Like, black and orange, Baltimore, Orioles. Yeah, that's amazing. Hate to see them being this bad, guys, but they are. Blue Jays are going to come in 4th, 27-33. I had to lower their record a little bit because AL and NL East have to overall be 500, and I figured I had to give a little more wins to the NL East and AL East. Blue Jays 27-33. Potential for sure. Ryu, I've always found underrated. Bichette, I find going to be very good. Vlad, I find going to be very good. But I don't think that they still have a full team to quite be 500 yet. We'll see. I root for them. Red Sox are going to come 3rd, 29-31. They're not a top half team in baseball, despite having a top half offense in baseball for sure. You still got Benintendi, Bogarts, Devers, and JD as your top 4 hitters in the lineup. You love to see, well, you don't love to see it because I'm a Yankee fan, but that pitch is awful. The pitching is awful without Sale, but now without Eduardo Rodriguez. Bro, Nathan Eovaldi, and probably like average pitcher at best, is their ace now. Ace. He's their opening day starter, guys. It's crazy. Braves second place, 35-25. They are going to make the playoffs as the number 1 wild card. So you already know the second wild card coming out of the AL West. Rays, 35-25. Not going to be too close with the Yankees. I love that top 3 in the Rays rotation, though. That's really what makes them good. 1 Yankees, 41-19, number 1 seed in the AL. I would just bring up a couple names as I do with some other teams, but the Yankees are just their whole team is insanely good. NL West, let's go. 5th place, Giants, 22-38. Another team, one of my teams that I really like, but even last year I really liked them because they were relevant, as far as playoff race is concerned at some points of the season. But this year I have them being awful, as being the 2nd worst team in the National League, unfortunately, next to Miami. Man, this team doesn't have pieces that can hit it. Hopefully Cueto and Samardzija can be good. That's the only way to keep this team respectable, I feel like. Number 4, Rockies, 26-34 this year. They're going to be not awful, but just bad. Number 3 is going to be the Padres. Let me speak about the Rockies. Well, I have an Arenado jersey. They deserve a little screen time. The Rockies, Arenado, Story, and Blackmon, they have the star power as always. There's really nothing to say. It's just the same for years. Mainly last year and this year. They have the offensive stars. They don't have the pitching stars. Padres are coming in 3rd, 31-29. That's right. I have the Padres squeaking an above 500 record this year. I really liked them. I had them up at 84-78 for the full season. Maybe that was a little bit of a stretch, especially for a longer ride. But I'm excited to see what Tatis and Machado can do on that left side of the infield together for a 60-game stretch. Can they go off? Wow. I would be really pretty happy if the Padres made the playoffs. Number 2, D-backs, 32-28. No playoffs for you. They are, a lot of people I've seen really being pretty high on the D-backs. Some still having them about average. Again, I'm pretty average on them, just like the White Sox. A little over 500. But guess what? They have Bumgarner. They have a good rotation. But I don't see them making the playoffs. And 1st place, you already know, it's the Dodgers, 40-20, number 1 seed in the NL, number 2 best team, 2nd best team in all of baseball. You got all the stars all around, just like the Yankees. Except there's not much doubt that when healthy, the Yankees are definitely better than LA. American League West, let's go. Probably the most low-key fun division in baseball. Not the most fun, the most low-key fun. I'd say the NL Central and NL East are the most fun. But as far as the AL West is concerned, Mariners 21-39, really putting up a pitiful record. They have to play just a lot of teams better than them, guys, and they're not going to find many wins because especially once I just feel like there's going to be so many teams in contention that they're going to be playing against. They're really not going to win much, especially as of late. They might, how they started out super hot last year. They might start out 500 this year. But once they're out of it, they're going to be out of it. 4th place is going to be Texas, a team that I like. Probably the team that I overrate the fact that I like them. I really don't love them, but I like them. Okay, they're going to go 27-33. Not very good. Why? Well, they have to play the D-backs 6 times. Not a big deal. It's not like they're awesome, the D-backs, but this Texas team, they were pretty bad in the second half last year. They really were after a great start. I'm hoping we see some of the first half Rangers. 2019 Rangers were good for a while, but I don't think so, unfortunately. That rotation, I like Minor at the top. Is Kluber playing? I don't know. If he does, then they actually have a pretty cool rotation. I'm excited to see Kluber play in Texas. But Lance Lynn, he's not going to be nearly what he was last year. Come on, Giraffe Neck Mark, putting him in your little Dark Horse Cy Young candidates video. Angels are going to come third, but they're not going to be 500. 29-31. They have Trout and Rendon. Bro, please Trout play. Like, I don't know, man. I just want it every year to be a Trout year because I just like to see greatness. But I don't know, man. But that pitching is awful. Athletics at number 2, guys. Not the Astros in second place. The Athletics. 34-26. Okay, that seemed like a not great record for the Athletics. But listen, Athletics fans. Not that there is any. But I don't think that you guys should be mad. Why? Because you guys usually are 500 through the first 60 games. And then turn into some, like, fake, like, win every game type of weirdness. But your first 60 games, since there is more pressure in the first 60 games this year, I'm giving you wild card number 2, your third straight year as a team in the wild card game. Number 1, Astros, 39-21. Why? Because they have a top 3 lineup in all of baseball. That's why they're like historically. Last year's team was historically good. They never should have lost to the Nationals. I get it, they're cheaters, and I hate them, but to be honest, like, I think they're still going to be really good even without their little cheating stuff. But guess what, guys? This Astros team doesn't have nearly as good a pitching. Verlander and Greinke, 2 old bums at the top. Not that they're bad, they're pretty good, but I don't think they're top 5 pitchers in the sport, either one of them. No. Alright, guys. What do you think? Comment below. Let's get into the postseason. Who is ready for the 2020 Major League Baseball postseason presented by Camping World? We are going to start off with the National League wildcard game where the Washington Nationals in D.C. are going to beat the Philadelphia Phillies with Max Scherzer, and the Nationals, who just won a wild card last year, World Series experience, are going to beat a Phillies team who's getting their first October taste. They're not going to be able to muster up a home game, unfortunately. AL wildcard, we're having the same matchup as last year, except flipping the location to the underwhelming Trop, where the A's and Rays are going to play. And the A's are going to lose for the 3rd straight year. The Rays win the AL wildcard game this year. NLDS-A, the Dodgers, the 1 seed, are going to unfortunately sweep the Washington Nationals this time around. The other NLDS, the Cubs versus the Braves. The Braves do have home field advantage, but the Cubs are going to win in 5 games. That's right, I'm coming out saying the Chicago Cubs are making the NLCS this season. They could literally go anywhere from 500 to NLCS, like, realistically. It's crazy. The National League's so bunched up from, like, the solid to decent tiers. Like, wow. But, yeah, Cubs win Game 5 in Atlanta. ALDS-A, the Yankees and the Rays. So the Yankees aren't quite going to get the sweep, but they're going to close it out at the Trop in Game 4. That would be weird. All right, ALDS-B, boys. The Astros versus the Twins. The Houstonians do have home field advantage. And they're going to, similarly to the Rays series last year, they're going to win in Game 5 at home. The Twins are going to actually do some stuff in October this year, but not enough to beat Houston. Because unfortunately, Houston is still, like, really good offensively. And that Twins pitching won't hold the Astros in the park at all. Now, you could kind of say the same in reverse, that the Astros pitching won't do this good to the Twins, but you still have Verlander and Greinke pitching games. So they're going to be able to keep the Twins offense under somewhat control. All right, let's get to the championship series. NLCS, Dodgers and Cubs. The unfortunate reality is that the Dodgers are going to sweep the Cubs at Wrigley Field and be undefeated up to the World Series in the playoffs. ALCS, Astros, Yankees. Again, 3rd time in 4 years. Still, I am saying that these are going to be the 2 best teams in the AL. I do think the Astros are still a top 2 team in the AL. I do think the layoff helped the Astros. Now, I wasn't going to say that they were a top 2 team in the AL. I actually had the Oakland A's winning the division in my 162 game predictions, but that's not the case for my 60 game predictions. As I think as I've looked at the Astros a little more, be like, Okay, unfortunate, but yeah. And we're gonna give the Astros an L to the Yankees in the ALCS in 6 games this year. It's gonna head back to the Bronx, where we're going to the World Series for the first time since 2009. As far as the World Series is concerned, I'll tell you, I respect the LA Dodgers. Never liked them, but I've always kind of respected them, I guess. It's going to be a banger series. Dodgers, Yankees, home field, going to the Yankees. And it's going to be a Yankees World Series winning season, as I said in February. The Yankees are going to defeat the Dodgers at the Bronx Bombers Stadium, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, on 161st Street in, Game 7 of the 2020 World Series. Let's go, guys. Let's get to some awards. AL MVP, I'm going to go with Anthony Rendon, a guy on Mike Trout's team that's not Mike Trout. Wow. My dark horse pick will be Bo Bichette. NL MVP, Christian Yelich is actually going to be my pick here. I think he's the best player in the National League. Not some crazy pick. My dark horse, I wouldn't be shocked, Chris Bryant. Alright, guys. Cy Young time. AL Cy Young. Definitely Garrett Cole is the easy choice of pick. If everything goes as planned, Cole's easily going to win Cy Young. Not that he's going to easily win Cy Young, but if, the easy thing to pick, the most definite likely choice, the easily pick is Garrett Cole. Alright, so NL Cy Young. I'm going to go with Max Scherzer having a big season. I heard DeGrom has back stiffness or something, and injuries are a pretty big deal when it's only going to be a 60-game season. They're not sure if he's going to pitch on opening day, but I wish the best for DeGrom. I would love to see him win 3 straight Cy Youngs, but I think Max coming off a World Series in a sprint, not having to deal with injuries this year, probably not. I think big things for Mad Max this year, even at this age. The last little segment, surprisingly good team and disappointing team. Now, this is a little bit, sketchy because, I'm just going to try and base it off, what the average person thinks of that team. Alright, so for the surprising team, we're going to go with the Phillies. Not that 33-27 record is crazy, but guess what, guys? A lot of people have the Phillies in 4th place, not making the playoffs, and I have them making the playoffs. So I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. And my disappointing team, not that I'm giving them a ferocious record, but I am putting them under 500 when I think most people have them above 500. That's going to be the Angels. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for watching this banger. I hope that you enjoyed my predictions. I get it. Don't spam me with dislikes just if you don't agree. I might not even agree with myself in a little while. But guess what, guys? I am excited for opening day, Thursday, July 23rd. Yankees and Nationals, 7:08 p.m. ESPN. You better tune in, or else you're not a big fan if you don't tune in when you've been waiting for months from this pandemic. I'm so excited, but part of me is oh, it's tough to wait through it, but part of me knows it's kind of an exciting time, the lead up period. But not really. We're just waiting for it all to start. Nothing's even happening. Not that exciting yet. In a couple days, though, early season, even though we're excited to see what the playoffs will be, we're going to enjoy the season, boys, aren't we? Or are we not? If you are, be yes, leave me a like, subscribe, and come back next time.
From a young age, someone told me I could be anything that I want to be. No plan B, it was on me from day one. If I took it now, I don't know where I'd be, but it's okay. Cause I'm on stage and I'm with the crowd and we bounce.